One is the general provisions. 3.1.1 reads, the contractor is the person or entity identified as such in the agreement and is referred to throughout the contract documents as if singular in number. We're sensing a bit of a pattern with this particular first section. The contractor shall be lawfully licensed if required in the jurisdiction where the project is located. The contractor shall designate in writing a representative who shall have express authority to bind the contractor with respect to all matters under this contract. The term contractor means the contractor or the contractor's authorized representative. 3.1.2 reads, the contractor shall perform the work in accordance with the contract documents. Pretty cut and dry. It's just saying you have to listen to this particular collection of documents and you must adhere to it contractually. 3.1.3 reads, the contractor shall not be relieved of obligations to perform the work in accordance with the contract documents either by activities or duties of the architect in the architect's administration of the contract, or by tests, inspections, or approvals required or performed by persons or entities other than the contractor. This is a protection against the contractor claiming a release from obligations because the architect approved a payment or has not specifically rejected it. Section 3.2 is entitled Review of Contract Documents and Field Conditions by the Contractor. 3.2.1 reads, execution of the contract by the contractor is a representation that the contractor has visited the site, become generally familiar with local conditions under which the work is to be performed, and correlated personal observations with requirements of the contract documents. It's the provision that ensures that the contractor has done their due diligence. 3.2 is a rather large one, and it reads, because the contract documents are complementary, the contractor shall, before starting each portion of the work, carefully study and compare the various contract documents relative to that portion of the work, as well as the information furnished by the owner pursuant to section 2.2.3, shall take field measurements of any existing conditions relating to that portion of the work, and shall observe any conditions at the site affecting it. These obligations are for the purpose of facilitating coordination and construction by the contractor and are not for the purpose of discovering errors, omissions, or inconsistencies in the contract documents. However, the contractor shall promptly report to the architect any errors, inconsistencies, or omissions discovered by or made known to the contractor as a request for information in such form as the architect may require. It is recognized that the contractor's review is made in the contractor's capacity as a contractor and not as a licensed design professional unless otherwise specifically provided in the contract documents. That is a very long section, but mostly it's a way of ensuring that contractors and architects are not working against each other. It's a bit of a protection for architects against contractors going through documents in order to prepare many RFIs in order to get the contract sum that they're due elevated by errors and omissions. Section 3.2.3, the contractor is not required to ascertain that the contract documents are in accordance with applicable laws, statutes, ordinances, codes, rules, and regulations, or lawful orders of public authorities, but the contractor shall promptly report to the architect any nonconformity discovered by or made known to the contractor, as a request for information in such form as the architect may require. Pretty self-explanatory. It's just saying that whatever is found in the documents during due diligence and review should be made known to the architect as an RFI. Section 3.2.4 is another fairly long one, reading as follows. If the contractor believes that additional cost or time is involved because of clarifications or instructions the architect issues in response to the contractor's notices or requests for information pursuant to sections 3.2.2 or .3, the contractor shall make claims provided in Article 15. If the contractor fails to perform the obligations of sections 3.2.2 or .3, the contractor shall pay such costs and damages to the owner as would have been avoided if the contractor had performed such obligations. If the contractor performs those obligations, the contractor shall not be liable to the owner or architect for damages resulting from errors, inconsistencies, or omissions in the contract documents, for differences between field measurements or conditions and the contract documents, or for nonconformities of the contract documents to applicable laws, statutes, ordinances, codes, rules,